Okay.
All right.
The Blythewood game. I was. We left after halftime. Fletcher was just there to do the homecoming, and then we're both sick, and like he didn't feel good. So they were murdered, weren't they? They like did not. Dutch Fork was where I graduated from. So hey. Oh. Yeah. All right. Here's our data. Couple of things. Your lab report is due on Wednesday. So after I do this with you guys, I'm going to let you today use the rest of the class period to finish all your data analysis with your lab group. Because for part 3, you're going to have to like make your own sheet and do your stuff. I'm going to kind of show you and walk you through how to do it on part 2. Everyone will use the same data for part 2. All right, but you'll have to do your own stuff for part 3. So I'm going to give you the rest of the class today to work on that. And if you finish that, you can just work on your lab report during class today. All right. Tomorrow, remember, we're going to do chapter 41, which is the digestive system. And you just need to do that short little reading guide thing I emailed y'all on Friday. And then Wednesday, we'll finish 41 and we'll review for your test. Thursday, sorry. I'll call her back. Thursday, I'm not giving, so I have a choice. A lot of times I'm like, I can still give you a test. Like, we're basically going to be ready for your test on Thursday. Then I was like, I pushed everything else back. I didn't want to make like the lab report due on Wednesday and then your test on Thursday. I just thought that would be rude. So I'm moving your test to Friday, but Thursday we're going to go ahead and start chapter 6. So it's kind of weird, but you won't be tested on that until later, right? Okay. And then your cell project, I'm making due on Monday. I think I originally said Tuesday, but we need to have it due Monday because the way it's going to work is your group is going to present one organelle. I won't really decide until that day. But on Monday, I'll just be like, all right, Reagan, y'all do the nucleus. And you'll just get up and whatever part of your project, just show that and talk about the nucleus. And that's all you'll have to do. You won't have to do all of it. Make sense? And then I'm hoping by next Friday, we'll start our next big lab. So, yes, we have, this semester is super lab heavy. We're going to have a major lab every week or 2 until Christmas. You won't have to write them all up. The next one won't be a long write-up. The next one will be a 1-page. Yeah. I used to do that, but there's too many of y'all, so I can't do that anymore, which is good for you. All right, so let's talk about the data. First of all, will someone please, you know how to insert the average function? Let me show you. There's a ton of pHs, so we need to do class data. So the way I know how to do it. All right, hold on. Let me show you this. Now I don't. So this will be our class average column. What away? All I do to do, okay, I don't know how to find it, but I just go to help and I do AB and I do insert function average. And there it is. And then what you do is you go and select all the groups like this. And then you just press enter, and there's the average. And then what you do is you just click on this little box, drag it down the entire thing, and there you go. So that's the class average for pH 3. So can somebody, y'all just random people pick the pHs and do the average functions, like stick them in here, please?
I think it's both. Yeah, because we got negative 0.31. Group 1 also is.
All right, somebody else, Isak, I'm going to give you a job. So Isak is going to then take what I want you to do, like over somewhere else on the side, like over here somewhere or something. Copy just like this column right here, okay? And then what I want you to do is to make a table that looks like this, but instead of having the absorbent, have the averages, pH 3, pH 5, pH 7, like that.
So you want me to do it on like sheet 3 or?
Sure, do it on sheet 3. I don't care. Can you put it on? Huh?
I don't think I have things like
Why do I only have
Which one?
all I did was yeah.
Oh, you meant on that. Hold on. Here, your shirt. I wrote that down. Everybody can see it. That's awesome.
Hey, Issa, we don't need all this. We just need just one going across this way. So like pH.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
What is that NA?
I don't know who did it. I know we're trying to figure out who did it.
What's that NA?
No, that was the one that.
Hey, I don't know what I'm doing.
There you go.
There.
Can you explain how to do the average? Yeah, what do you enter in the parentheses?
Oh God, go away. All right, so what I did is I just clicked on this box. I typed in AV, where it says insert average, I clicked on that, and then I highlight the boxes I want, and then I press enter. Oh God. It just worked. Hold on.
This Brian, why is it not? You can't copy this to everything.
I just did it. Hold on. What?
I took Spanish. I'm so sorry. I didn't do that.
There. I don't know why it's there. I don't know. I just highlighted the other way. Who knows? There you go. You can't do what?
You can't copy this to everything.
Can you do it in the same sheet? Max did it in the other class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Okay, skills as an REF.
I just did it.
You know what, for pH, it's hard to do it if you don't know REF.
I just highlighted and cut or copied it.
When I did it, it says R, hashtag, go to the bottom, just like, spider, go to the bottom.
Hold on.
I tried to make it. Then I put out in sheet at the bottom.
I just did it. Okay, well, I don't know, but hold on. Oh, I don't know. Type them in then. Just take fix. Somebody help Isak. We need to put these class averages. We need to make a table with time and pH 3, 5, 7, 9. Somebody do that. You can't cut and paste them. You have to type them in. So like table. Like Sarah, y'all do pH 3. Danya, y'all do pH 5. Vanita do 7. Kelsey and Caitlin do 9. Y'all do 10. Y'all do 11. Go.
Here, you read them.
It's in sheet 3. Still in that right there. So one of you read them off, and the other one has to read them off. Yeah. Well, like, can you read them? Hey, y'all, listen. Sarah figured out how to do it.
If you when like you copy them and then you paste them, but you like left click and you hit paste special and then you hit your paste values only, and you can just paste them without.
Hold on. Yeah.
Why are these the same?
Yeah.
Am I doing it wrong? My bad. Sorry. No, it's 11 to work.
No, that's not the
Well, the CS 11 data is underneath that. Yeah, that is 11. When is our CF meeting?
What? What is it?
Tomorrow?
Wait, what's this?
Hey, somebody fix these.
I'm about to fix it now.
There's so much.
Okay, wow. What happened? I didn't have. There we go.
You go straight to
No, you got it.
All right, now everybody good. Yay. That's the lesson in patience. Okay.
From there you go.
Now, this is when you need to listen. So this is the data we need to use to make our graph. In your lab report for part 2 and part 3, you need 2 types of graphs. Now, first of all, you need to include a data table. So you'll need to include this data in a table. Make sure you do sig figs. Okay, don't include all those decimals like 0.03. 0.03 is actually probably good enough because you can't read. You couldn't get 0.031 on the SpectraViz, could you? They didn't go that low in the absorbance, did it? 0.031?
I think it was just.
Okay. Well, then if you can't do 3, then just leave it like that. Good. But like on this one, do 0.079, 0.01, you get it? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now, let me show you what to do. So the first thing you do is you have to create a graph of this data, just a line graph. So I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to walk you through if you don't know how to use here. So go to Insert and go to Chart. Everybody follow? Does anybody not know how to do this? Okay, well, good. Let me show you anyway. All right, yay. Now, that looks beautiful. Look at it. Yay. All right, now, first of all, you need to make sure that it has a proper title. That is not a good title. What would be a good title for this graph? What do you think, Meg? Okay, effective pH on rate of reaction. That's good. I want you to be a little more specific. Effective pH on the peroxidase period, peroxidase activity. Okay, so somebody write that in for the title because we can all use this graph. Now the x-axis is good. We have our label with units. Now, somebody needs to add a label to our y-axis. Y'all know how to do that? Absorbance does not have units, so you click on these 3 dots and go to Edit Chart.
Because I changed the title. Oh, well, I don't think that that's good.
What is going on?
But I think that inside is sitting on the other one. Yeah, I mean, if we all do it, we have like 6 of them. Not on this one, but
Somebody change that title.
We did.
oh, they came back.
You have to like.
There's so many graphs.
I can't even find the graph.
Basically, we all did it to make a graph.
No, there already is a graph.
Yeah, but I think everyone did.
Everyone made a graph. Well, I deleted all the extra graphs. Here we go. Yay. See how this graph looks awesome? Wow, someone.
E needs to be capitalized. And I'm sorry, so here's the title. And so is the
Perhaps today. Yes. Now let's look at it real fast so we can analyze it. Remember, so you would leave this in, like, you're going to cut and paste this and put it in your lab report. All right, that has a key. This is great. That's actually really pretty. What has the highest enzyme activity? What colored line is that? 7. Yay, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? All right, so which one is right next to it? pH of 5. Sort of makes sense, right? Which one is the green line? Now, the ones way at the bottom, what happened with those? They were all denatured. Now, what we're going to do from this graph, everybody listen to me. We're going to create the graph now that looks like, this. Remember this graph from our book? We're going to make one of those. Well, how do we do that? On the y-axis is actually enzyme activity, which is a rate of reaction. How do we figure out a rate of reaction using this data? It's the slope of the line. So what I want you to do is figure out the slope of the line. And you can do that using here somehow. And you can actually insert like a best fit line thing, right? So you need to figure out slope. And then once you figure out slope, you're going to make a whole nother little table. Insert sheet. So this will be rate. We'll do pH. What do we have? 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11. And then we'll have rate of reaction. What are the, if it's slope, what do we do? What are our units? Change in Y or change in X. So what is Y on our graph? It's absorbance over time. Absorbance we'll do per second. Okay, and here you're going to put in your slope data. So y'all do that real fast. Go. You know how to figure out slopes? It's in here somewhere, isn't it? Insert. What? It's in here somewhere. Trend line.
And I think there is a trend line from the graph, but like I think you have to do it individually. I don't know if it was just like for each. I hovered over one of the lines and it told me something. Yeah.
You hovered it?
Yeah. Is that right? Oh no, I think that's just the
These are the trend lines. It's in here under series. You can click on trend line. But where is? Use equation. Did you see that? You need to do that, and it's going to put the equation on there. See? Holy bless, no, what happened?
That's just like every one of those now.
Well, the equation, wait, whoa, how do we get all those points? Oh, look. Look, there's the equation. Yeah, they're going to be long. Y equals mx plus b. So m is your slope, right?
Right.
Wait, so we're supposed to be like a title page and then table of contents?
No. Don't waste your paper. It's a waste of paper. Don't do that. Just title and then start.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, why is there only one equation? What are y'all doing? Well, did you see what I did? Did everybody see what I did? There. Whoa, who did that? Good job. Hey. There they are. They're all there. Huh? Yeah, so listen, what you need to include in your lab report is the graph without the trend lines. I don't want all that. So you just do this to figure out slope and put the slope in the other data table to make the other graph. Make sense? No?
Yeah.
So what's the slope of pH 7? $2.73?
Yeah, it's 10,000 to negative 3.
Get a piece of paper and write the slopes down. 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11. So 3.21 times 10 negative 4. 2.53 times. Oh, Nick. Read your emails.
I literally just told him that you put out an email with the instructions.
Great. All right. We go over here and we put them in. Whoa.
Yeah, we need to go.
We need to have these kind of graphs for export as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Russ, I think that's right. Where? Can you fix it? Oh, yeah. Fix it. Thank you.
It's 4 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, I know, but then it's like
3 hours in your work.
driving there, driving back, and then I'm not gonna want to do anything.
Right now, our graph, we don't want to look like this. What do we want to look like? A bell-shaped curve. So we go to, whoa, yay. Look at that. Does it sort of look like the one in the book? Yes, that worked, right? That's exciting. Yay. Okay, why does it keep moving?
Oh, I keep moving it.
Stop. Look. See, it worked. Look, see? Are you excited?
Are we gonna put the line in there?
You did it. Huh?
Are we gonna put the line in there?
You're gonna have to, what do you mean?
The line, like where it shows like the opposite of the game, so if you think like try to drop the line, I get that. Yeah.
No. So listen, this is what our data says. Now, stop moving. Yeah, okay. No, so what you'll want to talk about is, so what do we do with this? Remember in your results section, you talk about what your data says. So according to this, it looks like the optimum pH, it looks like it's around 6. Now what do we actually know? It's probably closer to 7, okay? So here you'll say it looks like the optimum pH was around 6. But in your discussion, you'll say the optimum pH, although in our data or in the lab data, it says it's around 6, it's more likely close to 7 because in reality, blah, 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 blah. And then you just talk about sources of error, okay? And maybe you can talk about why that happened. Got it? All right. So what you would include in your lab report is this graph. Now, this is not a good title. Okay, it needs to be more descriptive. Rate of reaction of what? What are we doing? Versus pH, and that's not. So the effective pH on a rate of reaction of peroxidase activity or something like that. Make sense? Yay. So these are the types of things you need to include for your part. So you need to do those other graphs for your data. All right, most of you did more than one trial, and so you need to get your average and then make the data and then do the slope and then do this graph. Huh? Okay. Do what? Average the data. Just like we did with all the pH data, we made a class average. You'll average your 2 trials together. Well, you make 2 graphs, one with the lines and one with the...
So in total we'll have 4, right?
Yeah. All right, y'all have any questions on how to do this? Yeah. No, that's a good question. Y'all listen. Johnny asked about the baseline. So the baseline was just a basic rate of reaction. And so, no, you actually don't, because you didn't control in your own experimental group. So don't do anything with it at all. Yeah.
So when they put all of those individual graphs in along with,
I don't want trend lines in the lab report. Okay. So I just want that graph without the trend lines. And then I want this graph. Okay. In terms of data tables, the class average data table for pH, and then a little rate of reaction data table. Okay. And then the graphs that correspond with those. So the way your lab report should look in your results section, it should look like, hold on. Hold on, I'm going to see if somebody from Lester shared there. Oh, good. Let me show you this. This is a lab report from last year. Everybody look, okay? Name of lab, your name, blah, blah, blah. Title, okay? Introduction, you don't have to necessarily go to bold this or whatever. You don't have to do that, okay? But here's her intro. Now, don't do this, okay? I say to include this stuff, but I don't want you to split it up like that. So just have a paragraph. Anyways, materials and methods. You'll need to make sure you separate it into part 2 and part 3. So here she has materials. Notice it's single space and she did 2 columns to save a little bit of space. That's fine. All right. And then the methods for that. You don't have to include experiments with design diagram if you're one of these people that want to. That's fine. You don't have to. Part 3, then the materials and then the methods. And then she does another EDD. You don't have to do that. So the results, I want y'all to pay attention here. I'm not going to share this with you, but you should write this down, or I'm recording this so you can just watch it later. But in the results, you need to make sure you know, part 2 results, part 3 results. So she didn't include both of her graphs, so she lost points there. So I told you need to include both graphs, one with the pH, the different pHs, and then one with this. So what you'll have though, anyway, she talks about using the class averages. And so here's this graph. I would prefer to have the data table of the class average for the slopes before the graph, because you use this to create the graph. Does that make sense? Okay. Notice, however, she has, make sure there's a title on everything. She has a title on the data table. You need to also have either a paragraph talking about what the data says. And her paragraph, I think, was here. So you can have a paragraph talking about both of these things together, one paragraph, because you use this to make this. Does that make sense? So the paragraph just to say slopes of or trend lines or whatever data, you know, the slopes of rate of reactions were determined using the other data, and a graph of rate of reaction versus pH was created, and then you could say, you know, the highest rate of enzyme activity appeared to be around pH of 6 or whatever it was on yours. You just say that. Say what the trends are in the data. Say the lowest enzyme activity was at pH 3 and pH 11. That's all you say. Okay, something like that. You explain trends in data. Don't not say why, just what they are. If you're one of these people that feels like you need to include a caption, which is what this is, you can. Some of you research people, that's fine. You don't have to though. Like I said, she's missing the other half of her data. Now for her part where they did salinity, and so she actually included it. And so here's a graph for the salinity of the different trials they did. She included her trend line data on here. You don't have to necessarily, but make sure you include the different salinities, which she did here. And then here, like I said, I want the data before the graph, but whatever. And she left out the other graph for that data, the one, the rate of reaction, the curving one. Anyway. Make sense? Okay, and then her conclusion, basically, you have to talk about it. Hers was not long enough. Your conclusion should be at least a page, if not 2, discussing your data. You need to say, you know, for part 2, if you're talking about the pH, the optimum pH appeared to be around 6. You know, I've seen in graph 2, or I've seen in whatever. You should always refer back to your data when you're talking in your conclusion. Have y'all written long reports before? Everybody? Not this long, no. Okay. I know this is the first time for a lot of people. So if you have questions, like I said, if you want to share with me a part of your last work, say, is this okay? Did I do this right? I'll be happy to look at it tomorrow or today, whenever. Okay. You have the rest of class today to work on it. I'm just going to sit up here and grade and do stuff. So if you need me, just come talk. Okay. Use your time wisely. All right.